You too.
So like tonight,
Okay.
We're gonna move forward without Keegan?
Yeah, he said.
I know he's still, I didn't know if he was wanted us to wait or.
He just said if you want to go ahead and get
Okay.
started, we could.
Alright. Ken, you leaving?
Mm-mm.
Oh. All right, I'll call the Board of Public Safety meeting to order, August 25th meeting. We'll start with the minutes of the August 11th meeting.
I make the motion, we approve the minutes of the August 11th meeting as written.
I second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Little odds up one, too. All right, we'll just skip straight down to fire department.
Good morning.
Morning.
You got the monthly stats, pretty standard. Department staff report. We attended the National Night Out, the Blue Devil Bash, which is the back to school kickoff. Filled the dunk tank for the softball team at the Blue Devil Bash. We also led the tractor parade for the Mid-America Threshing Show. EMS Captain Moss and myself met with some of the upper level IU health staff at Tipton to discuss the EMS needs, wants, if anything needed change, if there's any concerns. We kind of said that, like everything has been working well. They said there wasn't really anything that they needed changed on their end.
That's good.
So, as far as like wanting changes with how we're handling things, they said they were good with everything, just wanted to meet with us, kind of make it a quarterly, every 6 months meeting if we needed to, just to meet up, see if there's anything going on. But everything's good on both ends. So everybody, they felt like everything was going pretty
Good.
smoothly. We did host Mayor Schmicker for Firefighter for a Day. They thought they were getting him for a whole day. They only got him for 3 hours. So they wanted to invite him or any of the council members to come and spend a full shift and see what it's like. So if anyone's up for it,
Who would coordinate that? Just send you a call, email, text?
me or you can call the station,
Okay.
4633.
I'm too old.
You're not too old to ride in a fire truck.
I'd probably interrupt my nap.
Last Monday, we hosted the pre-bid construction
Mhm.
meeting with general contractors. I think I counted, it was like 19 general contractors were
Oh.
there.
Wow.
Yeah, we were overflowing the old courtroom, which is a training room now. They were out in the front lobby. And
Okay.
so it was nice to have a lot of people there to lay eyes on the project. And
Mm-hmm.
I did hear one person say that they were surprised so many people were there for such a small project. And, like for us, it's not a small project.
Right.
For a general contractor, like it's a small
Mhm.
project. So he did say that he wasn't sure if he was going to bid on it because there were so many people there. Their company would probably be overpriced. But I was like, I hope all of them don't have that mindset and we only end up with a couple bids.
Yeah.
Toby from Etika felt if we got 5 to 7 bids, we would be okay. But I'm hoping we get more than that so we can get a good range. I mean, there were 19 people there, so hopefully we get some good bids out of it. Captain Moss and myself also met with the DEA for our basically final inspection, and we got our DEA license approval. So we are legal to purchase narcotics for the EMS program. We've got all the proper forms. The DEA was a much easier inspection and process than it was with the State Board of Pharmacy. Like that was a bit of a nightmare with the state board getting our CSR. DEA was much easier. I will be meeting with a company called Next Era Energy Resources. this evening.
And what is it called?
Next Era Energy Resources. They are planning on, it's out of the city's jurisdiction, but if there was a fire, we would be on automatic dispatch since it is in Cicero Township's area. He said it's supposed to be, it's like a battery storage facility on Old State Road 28 near the Duke Energy Substation. I'm not sure exactly where it's going, but he wanted to meet with myself, Chief Souders, and Chief Klein from 30. I know Chief Souders is unavailable. I don't know about Chief Klein. He hasn't responded to any of the emails that I've seen. But that meeting is tonight, just kind of, they can give us an idea of what they're looking at with building size wise and what will be storing.
That's near 400, right?
Yes, the Duke Energy Substation is just west of 400.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly where they're looking at building. There's been some talk of some possible housing additions going up in that area, so I don't know exactly where it is. And Captain Moss will have EMS rundown review at tonight's council meeting that Mayor Schmicker has requested. As far as staffing, we are fully staffed. I do have a slight amendment on vacancies. Had a member possibly rupture his Achilles tendon over the weekend. And I think he's meeting with an orthopedic surgeon today to find out how they're going to go forward with the rehab, if it's surgery or if it's just going to be a boot for a while. So he's probably going to be out for an extended time, which kind of ties into with the budget. Like firefighter wages are going to be in the red. Like we'll be having coverage for him, so that's probably going to take that even further. Josh Benson and Seth Hogeson have both completed the Muncie Fire Academy. Josh has passed everything. He should be getting his actual certificates showing up either late last week or sometime this week. Seth had military drill the week that they did the testing, so he's supposed to have that upcoming, hopefully maybe this week. And the monthly training at the fire department this month was elevator training. That was put on by Justin Webster. Like I said, firefighter wages are probably going to be in the red, and it could be even further in the red with Tyler being off and having to have coverage for him. The Assistance Firefighters Grant should be opening sometime this fall. I believe we've talked about applying for a filtration system with the grant writer for the station. Community engagement, National Night Out, Blue Devil Bash. As far as public feedback, we had a structure fire recently. The structure was a hoarder house. Some of the family members didn't like that they were outed as hoarders, so they're calling and wanting us to take pictures down. I told them I would check and see if we can legally delete a post, or the one wanted all the pictures removed. Another family member called in and one post completely deleted was altogether. I told them I would check with the city to make sure we can, since it's a business page and not like a personal page. So
what was the concern?
First of all, there were two photos of an 18-year-old female firefighter from Cicero Township had just been asked if she was okay after she'd come out of the fire. She gave a thumbs up. They thought she was saying, "Hey, house caught on fire. I got to do some work today." Give them a thumbs up for that. It was not. And then there were two other members from Cicero Township that had a picture taken of them in front of their engine after they'd been fighting the fire. They thought they were celebrating the fire as well. They weren't. I did take those two down because that was the initial. After I took those two down, I received phone calls from the occupant of the trailer. Said her family has been receiving undue emotional distress over pictures from the fire. And then the daughter called up to the station and talked to Lieutenant Crane and wanted the post removed altogether. I told her I would check with mayor and everybody to see, because it's a business page. It's not a personal page. Check if we are allowed to take it down, remove pictures altogether, whatever. So the majority of comments on the page were positive. But there were a couple of disparaging remarks, but nothing too bad.
Joe, whose post was it? Was it your guys' post?
It was the fire department's.
Because I believe we ran into that before where the community's like, why are you posting that I got arrested? I think if you were the initial poster, I guess you would say, you can remove that. If someone else posts a comment on your page, that's where you cannot remove it.
Yeah, you can't curate comments.
Yes.
Unless they
So
violate.
if you post it, I think it's fine to delete it. Is how that works.
Okay.
I think so.
Which, I mean, I don't know. I don't think it needs taken down. I mean, they got called out for being hoarders. And we didn't actually like do it to call them out. We had
And you
structure
didn't call
fire.
them a hoarder in the
No,
post?
I think it may have mentioned that there were order conditions in the inside. They were faced with a tough task, but they got the fire out. So I don't know. Assistant Chief Ogden and myself kind of agree that like if we remove this one because someone got their feelings hurt, then it just sets a precedence that, oh, I didn't like this picture. I want you to take it down. If it's six one way, half a dozen the other to me. But that, I guess that kind of feeds into number 8, policy decisions, guidance needed. Do we leave it up, take it down? I don't know. But that's about all I have.
Have the Session Show had a tractor parade before?
To have.
It seems like, well, that was a long one this year.
I think it's always pretty long.
Uh-huh.
And I think in years past, I don't think they've ever had like in police or fire department escort them. They just take off on their own. And then it's a 10-minute wait to cross Jefferson
Oh,
Street when they're
it's-
coming through town, and it can be a nightmare.
There were a lot of tractors.
Yeah.
And a lot of people waving.
Yeah.
It seems like that show gets bigger and bigger every year.
I'm okay with it. Does anybody have any questions for me?
Thanks, Chief.
I understand we had, in the last 30 days or so, 2 infant deaths.
Yeah.
Is everybody holding up okay at the
Um,
apartment with that?
The people on the runs have been told that if they need to talk to anybody, we have things in place, and everybody says they're fine.
Okay.
But yeah, a couple of tough calls involving an infant, and then
6-month-old.
we had a 6-month-old and a 3-year-old.
Yeah. And then real quick, fully staffed, what are we?
Fully staffed, we have
Number-wise.
15 on shift plus myself, and then the 3 civilian paramedics.
And then part-time, I meant like across the board, not just on shift.
Part-time, I believe we've got 5 or 6 part-time firefighters and 5 or 6 part-time paramedics.
Okay. So we're 16 with you, full-time?
Yeah, firefighters and then the 3 civilian medics, and that I can take if we had more available part-time firefighters, paramedics. But fully staffed, full-time is what I was referring to.
Yeah. No, I was just trying to get arms around what we could be looking at
Mhm.
solution-wise or cost-wise. I'm indifferent. Well, I'm not indifferent. I'm open to whichever solution that makes the most sense operationally. But I was just curious what we were at, fully staffed with part-time and full-time.
Joe, do you know, you said you're gonna be in the hole, do you have money in your budget for that?
I think I looked around, and if I moved everything that would be available from all across my budget, I could probably cover it. That was before I found out about the Achilles rupture. So,
Anything else for Chief
No, I'm
Bittner?
gonna turn back to the mayor.
Yeah, I appreciate
Another meeting now.
standing in.
Yeah.
Chief Stout?
You got the stats there. Back up to about normal, 210 traffic stops last month. Not real sure what happened in June. I know we had a couple guys on vacation in summertime, but obviously we're back up to normal. 515 calls, so we're actually ahead of total call volume for the year. We're 3503 right now, so we're usually around 5,000 by the end of the year. So we're tracking ahead of that. So you've got those stats there. Just kind of a quick overview. I don't have a whole lot today. As you can see, both of our new hires, Catherine and Cameron, today is their first day on. Brought them over here just to kind of see how these work, and then we're heading down to start purchasing uniforms and getting fitted for everything and all of that. For the mayor, they both did sign their
Okay.
new hire agreements. That just needs signed by you
Oh.
and then to Tammy, and obviously a copy of that back. So as far as staffing, fully staffed currently, 14 full-time plus myself, and community service officer. So
Is Pike still doing part-time work?
Pike is still doing part-time work. I plan on meeting with him here soon and do not plan to extend that next year. That was one thing that we did cut out of the budget for next year. There's only a limited amount of time that you can work anyway. I just don't think it's feasible to have that money in there when it's not really being used a whole lot. So I'll have that conversation with him. He knows it's coming, but
So with you and the SRO, we're at 15.
yes. In your packet should be towards the back. One thing that I wanted to bring up is this police fire golf tournament. I think we mentioned it last month, but it's up and we're running now as far as filming teams. So this is going to be a first annual thing. The FOP and the fire department union. We're going to try to host a golf tournament for police and fire only at this point. I believe if you didn't have enough teams as of today, they were going to open it up for general public. When I talked to them on Friday, I think we had 10 or 12 teams that were signed up.
last I heard was 9.
Okay. I talked to him on Friday, and I think he got a couple more. But, you know, it's 4-man scramble. On the backside of it, there are sponsorship levels. When I talked to him on Friday, the event, we've already got enough sponsors to pay for the event, order all the items, everything's covered, and we'll be at a profit with even the amount of teams that we have playing right now. So he's done, Tryson Ross and Jeffrey have done great on getting those sponsorships in. We're still taking sponsorships, I believe, until next week or the week after, I think.
I think September 30th, or not September 30th, September 1st might be the deadline, somewhere around there, to get the sponsors so that they can have plenty of time to get the signs made.
So this is gonna be a really fun event. State police have agreed to come in and cover calls that day so that our department can go out,
I was going to ask.
work a hole, play. We've got one team in already, but that way the guys can be out, you know, working the holes, putting contests, different things like that. So it'll be a really fun day. So if you know anybody that would like to be a sponsor, get a hold of Ross or Tri-Center with their information on the front and sponsor a hole or something like that. I did start a application process. I told you that I did have one in Westfield's process. It has not went any farther at this point, but I'd rather be ahead of the game than behind the ball. So I'm just accepting applications. It's not too higher at this point. When I came in this morning, I had 4 applications on my desk. So within the first 2 weeks, I've gotten 7 apps back. They The deadline is September the 8th when they'll be back. We can get the pool of applications, we can run our physical agility test, we can run our written test, and we can start backgrounds without even knowing if we have to hire anybody. And then we're ready to go right into officers interview boards. So we will be 3 steps ahead if that officer was picked up by Westfield. So we're just trying to get ahead of the game, and it's going pretty good so far. Tonight and tomorrow, Assistant Chief Lacey and myself will be interviewing for the captain's position. We've got 2 for the captain's position and 2 for the sergeant's position. We're going to fill the captain's position first, and then we will move on with the sergeant, have the captain sit in for that sergeant's interview as well. So we'll do those interviews today and tomorrow. Officer Bill Tipton completed FTO training, so he will be picking up one of the new officers. They'll be starting their 4-hour pre-basic, probably later this week, if not the first of next week, and then their FTO program. They will have FTO and everything completed before they go to the academy. They won't go to the academy until next year, so they'll have a little bit of road experience and through that whole training phase before they start the academy.
What did you say about Bill Tipton?
FTO instructor, field training officer. Kind of for the mayor, they will be sworn in with Judge Lett on September the 2nd at 11:30 at the courtroom. So if anybody wants to come up, Judge Lett will do the swearing in there. It's just 10-15 minutes, oath of office, take some pictures, and we'll be out of there. I guess kind of under operations, we've got the Pork Festival coming up. There was a little bit of jostling back and forth with the Pork Festival committee as far as Saturday's parade. We got that all worked out. It will now start on South Street instead of the high school parking lot. Since Park Road's now State Road 19, they have to get that closed through NDOT. I guess it was a lot of paperwork that they didn't want to mess with. So now they will line up at Main and South, and then it will feed all the way back to Golf Course Road around the cemetery. That'll be the lineup portion. So we'll just turn straight on the Main Street there, and normal route though, all the way down to First Street or
Fairview.
First. We'll go down to First. Madison to First, back up to Jefferson, back to East. With the East Street project, our plan is when they do end the parade, they're going to come down east to Adams, then they'll come back over to Independence down to South, and then if the end of the parade has not finished, they will stage there by South Pole on South Street until that's cleared, and then they'll disperse. So it's going to take a little bit to get this year rolling, but it shouldn't be a problem.
My issue with the whole closing State Road 19 down was they've done for years for State Road 28 when the parade happens.
The challenge became the NDOT was requiring them to rent a sign to notify vehicles that it was closed, and then there's only apparently one vendor who has those signs, and that would be NDOT. And the sign rental was $1,500 or $2,000. So I think it became a financial decision on behalf of the Pork Festival.
What a business model.
You can do it, but you got to use ours.
Yeah.
And then security for the Pork Festival. We do that every year. Officers with us and the Sheriff's Department have the opportunity. I have a sign-up sheet there at the squadron or at the station. We've got every slot full. So there'll be plenty of security this year. They will start at 4 o'clock in the afternoon and it goes all the way till 7 o'clock the next morning. So there'll be different shifts, but we'll have plenty of guys working. Pork Festival pays for that. I think they're paying $40 an hour this year. We try to bump it to 50, which is most concerts and events and things like that, but they can't do it, so they stayed at 40. Fortunately, we were able to fill all those spots, so that was a good deal. They were very happy about that. You got the budget paperwork in there as well. The only thing, Debbie just texted me and said that the wage portion, those do not reflect today's payroll, so those in the wage section will be a little bit lower. She forgot to deduct that this morning when she printed this off. Obviously the capital improvements, Joe already mentioned the pre-bid planning or meeting we had last week. Turned out great. Like I said, 18, 19 people there. They went through the building. Very beneficial, and hopefully we'll get some good numbers back on that. Equipment, still vehicle wise. I do know that our wrecked vehicle that we have, it is in the shop being completed right now. Sheriff's Department picked up their vehicle last week. He said when he picked his up, he saw ours was in there being built, so it should be done any day. public programs, with the school, back in school full session, Friday night football games, soccer games, the officers know, go out, be seen by the public, be walking around. I think this week we play Elwood at home. Elwood Friday night, so that'll be, get the guys out there, a rival game, but, SRO Maddox will be taking a little bit of time off here and there. Assistant Chief Lacey, is filling in for him. Assistant Chief will still come in at 6 a.m. He'll go do the school from 7 to 3, and then he'll finish his shift on the road from 3 to 6. So, and the school knows if there's a time that he's not available, if they do need something, all they gotta do is call us and we'll go out there like we have in the past. So hopefully he'll be back soon and everything goes good for his wife. I think that's pretty much it that I've got right now. Unless you have any questions.
Questions from the board works? I'd offer a compliment to Sergeant Leisure. I forgot when we did National Night Out, we didn't get cleaned up completely. I think we bailed out of there at 11:30 p.m. And so we had to leave some items there. I, given the time, sent him an email because I thought he was on shift and asked if they could help just make sure to pass by and keep an eye on things until we could get them fully collected the next morning. So he was prompt in acknowledging that, and we didn't acknowledge anything missing. So
Good.
I think a job well done. So I just appreciate it. He did that for us so we can get cleaned up.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Catherine, it's your turn. I'm just,
I was not informed of the speaking obligation.
10-minute speech. Requirement.
But do want to welcome you both to the department. Thank you for coming this morning, and congrats becoming officers with the police department. Anything else from the Board of Works?
unless you have anything to report.
Not yet.
Okay.
Oh, we had our, what do you want to call it, kickoff meeting for the baseball field.
Correct.
That was after our last Board of Works meeting. So.
Yeah, so we've got documents, draft documents from BW about that formal agreement for BOT, and then we're still making some progress with DNR on permitting. So it's kind of a big
Move we adjourn then.
Second.
motion and second to adjourn the meeting. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Meeting adjourned.
Have a good one.
Yeah.
Thank you. Can you just give me a copy of these?
First day, huh?
Good man. Oh,
Wow.
nice. Yeah.